Well, it's Tuesday, the 29th of July, 2025. A very good evening to you and welcome to Science TV Prime News. My name is Chris Mololo. On Sign Language Interpretation is Esther Kendi, and these are the stories that we have for you tonight. We begin in Baringo, where persons with disabilities in the county have welcomed the nomination of Honorable Harold Kipchumba to the National Assembly by the ODM party. The move follows the appointment of Honorable John Mbadi as the Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury. The group praised Kipchumba's commitment to disability advocacy and rejected a petition by rival claimant John Ole Kitora, terming it unjustified. They also defended the newly formed Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, and its chairperson, Ethekon, dismissing claims of bias in the nomination process as baseless and politically driven. Now moving on, President William Ruto on Tuesday chaired a cabinet meeting at State House, Nairobi, just hours after his return from Ethiopia, where he attended the second UN Food Systems Summit Stock Take UNFSS+4, the high-level cabinet session, the first since his foreign engagement, saw President Ruto update his ministers on the progress of key transformative infrastructure projects across the country. The discussions underscored the government's commitment to advancing its national development agenda. Earlier in Ethiopia, President Ruto delivered Kenya's national statement at the UNFFS+4 summit, and during his address, he reaffirmed Kenya's unwavering commitment to transforming its food systems to support sustainable development goals and enhance climate resilience, a critical area given the country's recent experiences with drought and climate change impacts.
Food insecurity is therefore, in its every aspect, a political issue, but not only. It is also and above all an economic issue. We would be making a serious mistake if we limited ourselves to looking at food systems through the face of poverty, suffering, and hunger. Food systems are an engine of growth and development.
Globally, food systems are facing immense pressure from climate shocks, conflicts, inequalities, and economic disruptions. At the same time, development assistance is declining and multilateral cooperation is under strain. These challenges threaten production, supply, and the dignity and the stability of nations.
The Green Climate Fund estimates that global private sector manages over $210 trillion in climate investments and private equity. We must strengthen our engagement with this sector to unlock the capital necessary for the transformation of food systems.
The Kenyan government has announced a significant stride in its healthcare agenda, with approximately 25 million Kenyans now registered under the Social Health Authority (SHA) health insurance scheme. This achievement was lauded by Deputy President Kithure Kindiki, who emphasized that it marks a substantial step towards achieving universal health coverage (UHC) in the country. Speaking at his current residence during a meeting with leaders from coast counties, Kindiki expressed optimism that the initiative is on track to enroll over 40 million Kenyans within next year. Kindiki highlighted that the next crucial phase involves perfecting the insurance scheme by ensuring that health care system is adequately equipped with essential medicines and qualified personnel.
And make sure as many Kenyans as possible have a public medical insurance available for them. And then the next step now is to perfect that insurance. We improve equipping hospitals, making drugs available, the health personnel issues, the reimbursement system, and making sure that facilities are reimbursed for the actual expenditure. This fine-tuning is going to be the work for the next 5 or so years. It's not going to be perfect on day one. So I am very happy that's an intervention that we have offloaded.
Now, in other news, a formal petition seeking the recall of Nairobi Women Representative Esther Modoni Passaris has been officially filed with the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. 4 young Kenyans, that is Shakira Wafula, Mevin Mabonga, Dominic Omondi, and Sichei Soet on Monday submitted the petition to the IEBC offices in Nairobi, initiating the process to oust the 2-term legislator. The group alleges that Ms. Passaris should be removed from office due to what they describe as sustained constitutional violations and abandonment of her representative duties. The IEBC has confirmed receipt of the petition and stated that it is currently reviewing the document to determine if it meets the legal thresholds required for a recall process to proceed. Dr. Swarup Mishra, that's the founder of Mid-Hill Group of Hospitals, has refuted allegations of illicit organ trafficking, insisting that no Kenyan kidney ever left the country and or foreign patients arrived in Kenya with their own donors. His statements come in response to a damning appointed task force report investigating questionable kidney transplant procedures in the hospital. The task force's report, which scrutinized 476 kidney transplants conducted at Mid-Hill between the year 2018 and 2024, accused the hospital of violating transplant regulations and recommended the prosecution of Dr. Mishra and 3 other senior doctors. However, Dr. Mishra strongly defended the integrity of the procedures undertaken at his facility. He maintained that all transplant surgeries at Mid-Hill followed due legal processes and were fully authorized by the Ministry of Health.
Other African countries, apart from Kenya, they brought their own donors. If Mishra and Medi-Hill is really culprit, we carry the cross.
We are very aggrieved at the way the committee seems to have approached this thing with a premeditated mind, with a mind to make adverse comments about Medi-Hill, and we are aggrieved at the way they singled out Medi-Hill as compared to all other institutions.
Elsewhere, Stephen Munyaho, who is 51 years old, has returned home after spending 14 years in a Saudi prison under death sentence. He was welcomed at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport by family, friends, and government officials. His release follows the acceptance of 129 million shillings dear blood money by the victim's family, halting the 2024 sentence. The office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, led by Musalia Mudavadi, acknowledged support from President William Ruto, Saudi authorities, SUPKEM, and other faith groups. Munyaho's return was made through intense diplomatic efforts coordinated by the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs.
Be wondering what I'm doing with a stick, a walking stick. My maternal granny promised me that she will dance with me when she came with her third leg. So her third leg is here with me today. My presence here today is nothing short of a miracle. And I want to begin by thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the gift of life. I want also to thank everyone who prayed for me, encouraged me, and contributed towards my freedom and return home.
You never disappoint. Yeah, I remember that morning, and I'm so grateful. You opened your door, wiped away my tears, and promised that you would deliver my firstborn, the first fruit of my womb. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Allah, for this wonderful, wonderful gift of life. Thank you for each and everyone, and especially my media colleagues. Asanteni sana.
We end with a political story here where two members of parliament from the Nyanza region on Monday openly criticized Orange Democratic Movement, that's ODM Party Secretary General Edwin Sifuna, accusing him of overstepping his mandate and acting as a proxy for former Prime Minister Raila Odinga in discussions concerning a broad-based government. Alego Usonga Member of Parliament Samuel Atandi and Nyando Member of Parliament Jared Okello asserted that Raila Odinga, who also serves as the ODM party leader, directly signed the broad-based government document with President William Ruto in broad daylight and therefore requires no intermediary to express his views on the matter. The lawmakers made their petitions, or rather made their sentiments known during the official commissioning of a multi-million shillings complex funded by the Alego Usonga Constituency Development Fund at Boro Secondary School in Siaya.
The party leader, His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, to review the state of the nation, current developments in the party, and in particular the MOU with UDA and support for the broad-based government. After frank and open deliberations, the committee adopted the following resolutions as the party's collective message to members and to the country. Number one, that the party supports the position that has been taken by party leader Honorable Raila Odinga to work with the Kenya Kwanza administration to stabilize the country and create an enabling environment for Kenyans to address their concerns through democratic and constitutional means. Number two, that in order to expedite the implementation of the 10-point agenda of the MOU, ODM will constitute a technical team to work with our UDA counterparts as part of the political infrastructure to assist with the implementation of the agreement. The committee has identified the absence of such a technical committee, which is actually contained in the MOU, as the missing link in the implementation of the MOU. Of great concern is the full implementation of the NADCO report, promotion and protection of the livelihoods of young people, the right to peaceful assembly and protest, the rule of law and constitutionalism, corruption and wastage of public resources. Thirdly, that while the party acknowledges the allocation of 415 billion to counties in the current financial year as an improvement on the previous disbursement, we will continue pushing for the raising of the allocation to a minimum 450 billion Kenya shillings or more, as had been proposed by party leader Raila Amolo Odinga. Fourthly, that the party continues to demand the implementation of the unbundling of all devolved functions and the requisite and constitutionally sanctioned resources to the counties. Number 5, that the party supports calls for an intergenerational national conclave to deliberate on the issues affecting the nation with particular focus on youth agenda and agree on a way forward. Number 6, that the party will continue with grassroots elections and programs for the ODM at 20 celebrations as part of the process of regeneration, reorganization, and internal strengthening. Lastly, that while members arrived here with different viewpoints on many issues within the party and the country, the committee has succeeded in brokering an unbreakable unity of purpose in the party and a single-minded focus on ensuring that ODM continues to be a loyal servant of the people and the country, acting in the best interest of its supporters and nation, and committed to the agenda of national transformation and stability. Lastly, we have been presented with a schedule of all upcoming by-elections, and the resolution of this committee is that ODM will fully participate in all of those by-elections.
With those news updates, let's now take a short break. When we come back, we'll tell you what's happening in the world of sports. Keep it science.